Reassuring Russia, that is the question on the minds of not just the Americans, Western Europeans, very much the Poles. Now, to understand how that is going, what we need to do to continue on that, I'm joined now here by Dr. Adam Eberchard, who is the director of the WECC and Center for East European Studies here at University of Warsaw. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
Now, Poland has been center stage, very much knowing full well how dangerous Russia has been for a long time. And some of the things we've heard here as well today at the conference is that it was justified. Do you think in your experience that there's now more attention, more justification for more Poland being active on the international stage?
Well, I think the 24th of February, where Russia invaded Ukraine, full-scale invasion of Ukraine, was a wake-up call for many countries, for many societies in the West. Polish government, Polish society, we have been addressing this concern, our concern of a revisionist, imperialist Russia for many years. When it started back in 2008 in Georgia, then in 2014 in Crimea, Donbass, and now with the full-scale invasion, it became obvious. But but the role of Poland was very special because after a full-scale invasion of Russia, Polish government was trying to somehow cross the red lines, mental red lines of a ruling elite of the Western countries in order to convince them that the support for Ukraine is essential, that it is not just about helmets, what was the German government talking about at the beginning of the war, but it is about a high-precision artillery, it is about tanks, it is about fighter jets, it is about providing Ukraine with all assistance needed to defend itself.
Mm-hmm. All assistance needed. Let's go a bit to the modern context and today. The Weimar Triangle, something that's become much more in focus now, France, Germany, and Poland. Poland being very much now the driver in that very much. But there are worrying signs. If we look at just in the last 24 hours, it looks very much like the far right in France will make that relationship more complicated. Can Weimar stand further with a weaker France, or is this now in danger of collapse?
Well, the Weimar Triangle, so a cooperation dialogue between France, Germany, and Poland, looks beautiful from the Polish point of view because, on paper, indeed, because it is a way to somehow enhance Polish way of influencing the biggest nations of European Union. But when it comes to reality, it has always a triangle. It was somehow, more discussion than reality. And for many years, we have witnessed either no dynamics at all, or some attempts to influence by Germany and France together on Poland to accept their position. So we in Poland we would like to have a good, fruitful dialogue with the biggest European countries, but as long as it is not just a way where Germans and France are trying to get a deal and then to communicate it to Poland. So it is one problem. Certainly, it is also a problem of internal dynamics in France. We just witnessed elections, which was won by Madame Le Pen, but they are somehow shifting their ground today. So the Le Pen of today is not as radical pro-Putinist as she used to be earlier. So let's hope it is not just a rhetorical change. It is a change that is in the process. We would like to speed up the process, certainly, and we are not too optimistic. We know what are the challenges. We can see the public opinion polls in Germany as well, where pro-Putinist parties are on a rise. It is not just AfD, Alternative für Deutschland, but it is also Die Linke. It is a new left-wing populist party of Madame Wagenknecht, which is also somehow, positive attitude towards Russia. So we understand the complexity of an internal situation in European countries, and it is a problem that we become more and more exhausted by the war. And it is a question how to overcome this tiredness of our allies.
Eberchard, you just mentioned there important players, the rise of the far right as well. You mentioned Germany there as well. We can throw in Austria there as well, although not a NATO member. But increasingly, it seems to some, if you look at the board as it is, Poland very much in the corner, always fighting for Ukraine, the Baltic states as well, the Nordic states very much so. But it seems a very big different shift now if we look at Hungary, but also I said Austria as well, Slovakia. Is there a kind of rift there that is starting to appear? Maybe it already has appeared, and how worried should we be about it?
Well, we should be the most worried about the biggest countries because, I'm far from acknowledging the position of Hungary or Slovakia. It is very negative position, and we in Poland deplore this position. But when it comes to the voting, at the end of the day, they usually accept the compromise which is worked out within the European Union. What is certainly the biggest challenge today, it is U.S. presidential elections. It is a probable comeback of Donald Trump to power, and this is a question: what would be a Donald Trump's position on the war with Russia, and it is also a situation in the biggest countries. So yes, indeed, there are worrying signals coming from Budapest, Bratislava, and other countries. But the mainstream is about United States position, France and Germany, and we very much hope, and it is a role for Poland to lobby the interest of us, because it is the interest of the free world, because Russia is waging war not just against Ukraine, Russia is waging war against the free world, is waging war against Euro-Atlantic structures, against European structures, against European integration. So we should acknowledge and we should understand that the challenge is for us, not just for our neighbors.
I mean, if we look at another Trump presidency, which we couldn't rule out at this point in time, it looks to some polls rather likely. Yeah. But I think if we look at certain leaders like Emmanuel Macron, never had the best relationship with Mr. Trump. If we look at Olaf Scholz, as far as my knowledge, also probably not the warmest connection there. But it was a bit different with Poland. Poland has enjoyed quite a good, positive relationship with the Trump presidency, with the Biden administration as well. If that's President Duda or generally Poland, in your mind, what is Polish policy going to be in case of a Trump second term? And can Poland somehow, through its contacts, through its influence already, maybe play a bigger role and a better role to be that arbiter for Europe and America?
Yeah, so it is what I said. We are able to somehow isolate Orban's Hungary, but we are not able to isolate the United States. And it will be crucial if Donald Trump gets back the presidency, to somehow work on a transatlantic dialogue. So to get, well, first of all, to influence the people in the Republican Party who are pro-Atlantist and who are not America First supporters of ideology supporters. So we should first of all support those people around Trump who are supportive to Ukraine and to Euro-Atlantic relations. And at the same time, we should try our best not to spoil transatlantic relations. So try to influence. You are right. Polish president has been always very active in relations with Trump. We should, and it is also the role of the Polish government. Certainly, we had a change of the government. It is a more liberal government, more mainstream European government, which will probably make it more difficult to approach Donald Trump's camp. But still, we have to do it because it is in the interest of not only Poland, Ukraine, but it is in the interest of whole transatlantic community.
But I think it's interesting also to point out that on the security front and defense front, you had very much agreement with Prime Minister Tusk and President Duda from different political sides, sure. But they went to Washington very much on the same page, right?
Yeah.
So I think that probably bodes well for the future of any American administration, be they Republican or Democrat.
Yeah, yes, there was a visit to President Biden by both President and Prime Minister of Poland. It will be pretty the same quite soon, and I think it is obvious. In Poland it is obvious, even though we face really huge polarization at home, when it comes to security issues, when it comes to support of Ukraine, when it comes to support of NATO and Euro-Atlantic relations, we speak with one voice, and it is good. It is something we should cherish.
All right, so one voice, we'll see how it goes, and hopefully it will continue, as you said. Dr. Eberchard, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
And thank you, this is Sasha Farbach for TVP World at the University of Warsaw.